Hey, good afternoon. So, second video, I did one on framing. I'm going to do one on electrical. Now, I didn't do the electrical plumbing, HVAC. I'm not licensed anymore in electrical and plumbing. I never did HVAC. So, but I will tell you the things I've looked for over the years. This crew that's done this work do all three, and they're just amazing. And the work they do, I learned a lot of things from them because codes are changing all the time. And they've got great habits. So, so I'm gonna kind of walk you through with the kind of eyes you should have if you've had any of this work done. So hopefully it helps. Okay, so some of the things I look for right off with electricians is, do they run their wires straight? You can see these guys, their wire's not twisted, it's run perfectly straight. They've actually, see that orange, they've actually foamed their holes with the, I thought my my installation guy would do it, but they did it ahead of time. But anyways, and then all of their, like I say, neat, their loops are good. This is for the dryer, so it's bigger wire. And then the washer, so the washer's set up here. And then, like I say, make sure all their these guys use these heavy wall boxes for their switches, because the switch plates have a tendency, you probably see my videos in the past of these things getting jacked around and getting crooked. And the last thing I'll do, even with these guys who I trust immensely, is I'll go through with a level, and if any of these things I'm worried about are going to get jacked around later, I'm going to put some other bracing on them. But right now, I think they look pretty good. So do they do their boxes square? And like I say, look around a little bit. Does all of their electrical look neat? Is it stapled properly, right? So it should be like 6-8 inches within a box, or anytime it changes direction. Okay, so you look through that. So some of the things, and this kind of falls between HVAC and electrical, but bathroom fans. What electricians and builders are notorious for doing is nobody pays any attention to the bathroom fan, so they just put some $20 piece of crap in there, right? And it's noisy, it doesn't really move any air. And now you've bought this house that you've spent, whatever, $100 million, $1 million for, and you've got a $20 fan that you use all the time. So these are good Panasonic fans. So that's fantastic. These guys work that way. The way they do recessed lights now, which is new to me, is they make these ones that you can use a traditional box with, and then it has a clip and the light goes in. So these guys educated me on that. But so all of the recessed lights that they do are on spreader boxes like this, so that they can center them properly. And that is a properly mounted ceiling fan. So that's a ceiling fan box. And there's your cross member for it. And so when you mount the ceiling fan, 2 screws go directly into that wood, which is a fantastic way to do that. And then the other thing you'll notice is these guys are extremely meticulous with nail plates. And this is the first time I've seen this. They put nail plates behind these deep well outlet boxes so that the cider doesn't get a nail and inadvertently come in here and hit this wire, or get inside that box and hit some wire. So they've done that, and you'll see a lot of those plates as we walk around. They're virtually on every outlet box on the outside wall. And you're going to see, when we do the plumbing video, plumbers did the same thing. Make sure all these pipes are protected, and nothing can happen later to those. Okay, so here's a huge advantage of using the same folks that are doing the electric or doing the plumbing. So we know exactly where the vanity's going. We know the size of the vanity. We know the center of the vanity, so that the light is perfectly centered. The drains work out. I don't know how many times you've somehow something changed and somebody changed the vanity size and suddenly the light's slightly off center, and it'll get left that way, which is awful. So that's enough to drive you crazy. Ample GFIs in the bathroom. And here's one where on these 4 gangs, they block this thing out so that it can't get moved, and it stays level. The 3 gangs are pretty tight. Like I say, they use the heavy boxes, and you can see there's a level I put on it just to be sure. So that's fantastic. Then here's the electrical in the kitchen. And so we have plenty of outlets. We have the dedicated outlets where we need for the fridge. That's the big 50 amp for the range down below. And then there's a series of countertop outlets, which are fantastic. And then where it says puck right here, that's where the under counter lighting is going to be. And the nice thing is they have those in boxes. too many times, and I still see this, where they just stick Romex out of the drywall. And if you look underneath, they've wire nutted that off, or they've spread Romex into the first light under there. So these will basically take the light, will go in there, and we'll plug back into that in the back of the cabinet. And it's a properly to code connection. So, and like I say, see all the plates again, the same thing there. And I can't emphasize enough, I just love when you have good electricians that do such neat work and all their wires are straight. And the reason you care about that is if they're worrying about that, then they're worrying about everything. And they're worrying about the things that matter. When they don't care about the little things like that, then you have to wonder when they have a bad day, are they caring about everything else? So once again, everywhere you go, the wiring is extremely neat. And everything is square, and all of our boxes are level. We'll, like I say, we'll double check that. Okay, so here is the ultimate telltale sign. Here is the main panel, all right? So if you have a basement, or you can go look at your main panel, it's rare that you're gonna see one made up this clean, this neat. All the wires are perfect coming down. They're marked coming in. But believe it or not, you barely can see the wires because they've done such a clean job of keeping everything tight. Our grounds are back in the back managed together. This is a new Leviton style panel where you land the wires in the actual panel and not on the breaker. So all of this is completely wired, ready to pop breakers in later. But like I say, this is clean work. And somebody that takes this much care takes care to make sure that inside here, that these wire nuts are properly tightened and whatnot. I don't know how many times I've helped people with electrical problems, and they start telling me, oh, move the lamp, and sometimes it wigs out and turns on and off. Well, generally what happens with that is somebody didn't wire nuts tight. So when you look at these things, we have to take for granted that this electrician is conscientious. Well, I can't look into that and tell, but I can certainly look in that panel and tell, and I can certainly look at how neat these wires are and all that. It's very doubtful anybody that takes that kind of care on the rough end isn't taking care on things that matter, like tightening those wire nuts down in other critical points. So that's probably about enough for rough end electrical, but like I say, this is classy work. It's you don't see much better.